So what does it feel like to drive out of your driveway in your brand new four-wheel drive, brand new caravan on the trip of a lifetime, a lap around Australia with no deadlines, no end date? So you've rented out your house, you've no more ties, quit your job, no more 9 to 5, and you've got income coming in off your travel blog. Well, today we have a special guest, Annette, who has done exactly that. And what we are going to find out off the net today is how has she done this? What was her journey? What are some of the challenges that she faced along the way? And how she was about to buy, or how she was able to buy, an amazing website. Such a good website buy, in fact, that she won one of our best website buys of the year at this year's Digital Investor Summit. So, Annette, welcome to the podcast today.
Thanks very much, Matt. That was an intro and a half. Thank you.
Well, you're a bit of a legend in our community and in our lives because, Annette, how long have you known us for?
Have to be at least 12 years.
And Annette, would you say, like I think a lot of people listening to this will find this amusing, but maybe along your journey in that 12 years, you may have drifted off a little bit and life got in the way. So what happened that brought you back into this space of buying and selling websites?
A couple of things. I did the web dev course. I was feeling a bit lost. I'd sold my bricks and mortar businesses. So it was like, well, what's next? And so I did that, and I redesigned my partner's business website. And we were sort of looking at in the future of where we were going to enjoy life after business. I'm not going to say the R word.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone, for me, it's just an extended journey, isn't it? Like after that whole business. So we had our sights on a favourite little town that we've always gone to in Bali called Sanur. So I decided that I'd start a blog on Sanur. That's after I'd done the web dev course.
Yep.
And so I was building that, and we were actually in Bali in March 2020, and, we just made it back into Australia at the time. So then it was like that traffic was going really, really well, starting to grow. And I thought, okay, I'm on a winner here. I think I'm doing the right thing. Wasn't really sure. So then COVID, we sort of rethought our plans, and we're always going to sort of buy a four-wheel drive in a van and trip off around Australia with no end date, like you mentioned.
Yep.
So we thought, okay, well, we'll flip it. We'll do the Australia thing first, and then we'll go to Bali.
What were you really zeroing in on at that point?
Well, I connected back in again with you and Liz, and that's when you and I had a call, and you invited me back to Digital Investors. Yep. So, and that's been fabulous, reconnecting in with everyone.
And Annette, I'm so impressed because you have inspired so many people with your action taking. Obviously, at that time, you got right into it. So you not only were building sites from scratch, which was one of the strategies we taught back, like we still teach that. But in COVID, as you said, we were sharing lots of different strategies that people could do. But also, you got into buying websites as well. And now you blitzed both. So let's have a look at like legendary effort. Let's look at your first legend effort, number one. So you said the Bali site, but then you pivoted to this Australian one. What was that site, and how well did it go?
It was called Lappers Australia, and I built that and started writing about the gear that we were researching that we needed for our trip. So the gear that we were going to put on our four-wheel drive, and actually researching four-wheel drives as well. We looked at that for about 8 months, which one to buy, et cetera. And then likewise for the caravan as well. There's so many more things that you need for that as well.
So basically that's a content site, and based on personal experience, you're basically reviewing four-wheel drive equipment on there. And I noticed back then, so how long did it start to till it took off? How many? Can you remember back then how many
Oh, yeah.
articles you'd posted? Okay, how many articles?
I think it would have been probably 10.
10 articles
And
just for that. Wow.
yeah, 10. And by the October, I'm pretty sure I started in April. By the October, I got this email from one of the affiliates that I'd actually made some money. I'm like,
Well,
what? Let me see. Yeah, I got so excited because I was waiting for at least 12 to 18 months
yep.
before and then every week the money just started growing from then on. So that spurred me on to write even more articles.
Yep.
And I think that got up to about $1,200 a month.
Okay.
So by the next March. So that was October. So that was October. By March, it was up around 1,000, 1,200.
1,000 to 1,200. So a month.
In the travel niche.
In the travel niche. Wow. So that is super cool. And we did, like, we should acknowledge too, it was your timing was absolutely perfect. Like we kept telling everyone, the travel niche is going to go, like, is one of the best niches. And also, and proof in the pudding, especially with four-wheel driving and caravanning, as we know here in Australia, just went nuts. So you're in the perfect place at the perfect time. But it's also because you've got a skill, Annette. Like
for sure, I couldn't have done it without it.
Yeah, you wrote these, real articles, and they worked really well. And I can remember back then, even myself, Liz and I were out four-wheel driving, and I Googled best max tracks, and your article came up, and that's when I think I sent you an email and we did a call, didn't we? I said, go Annette. So you got it to, and I think you said also at one of our events, you actually got that, like you had a few $2,000 months even on that website.
Yeah, I did.
Now that must have been pretty exciting. So in this time, to paint the picture in your life, you guys are working towards quitting your job and full on traveling. So, okay, so you've got this kind of semi-passive site with a few, like some articles, and it's making you say around $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
What happened then? What was your next step?
Well, the next step was, it came out of the blue. A friend of mine, and I knew the site, and I was very surprised. She said to me that she was selling it, and I couldn't quite believe it because she'd had this site for about 11 years and had a lot of fantastic content about her travels that she'd already done, because she'd already left on their trip of a lifetime. But she just had enough. She was running a Facebook group at the time as well. And that had about 80,000 people in it at the time.
Wow.
So she said, would you be interested in buying it? And I looked at the site because I hadn't looked at it for a while. And I thought, this is perfect because I could take the content that I'd already written and merge both the sites. There was content on that site that she didn't have, and I had content. On my site, I didn't have the content that she'd already written. So I thought, fabulous. It's going to be a great blend of both sites.
And you already knew you were making minimum $1,200 a month to $2,000 a month just with yours.
Yes.
So, and was hers making money at the time?
No.
Was that her focus? It was just a travel blog or something, was it?
It was just a travel blog. She's a very good writer, but I don't think I know she hasn't had the training and developed the skills of affiliate marketing that I had. In the way, I mean, she was an affiliate marketer, but not the way that I've learned over the years. So
thank you, Annette. See, you learn off the best. That's what you get. I'll take
that. Absolutely.
No, that's really cool. And something else you mentioned, had she, because she doesn't know this space of buying and selling websites, how else had she tried to sell that website?
There was a Facebook group. I wasn't in that Facebook group for travel bloggers, and I saw the ad afterwards, actually. And a couple of people had looked at it. A couple of my competitors.
But they
very great.
No one else bought it though.
No.
That is so cool.
because
Man.
it did need it hadn't had an update or a reno for a very long time, so it was looking a bit tired, which the seller recognised. You know, she knew that it needed a bit of a, a spruce up, as we
Yep.
say. And you know, once I had it, that's the first thing I did was
Yep.
to change the theme and update it,
And you did an
and then let it
awesome
settle.
job, which we'll get to in a minute. But so how much did you pick up this asset? So it's how old? 11, 12? How old is
11
this
years
one?
old.
11 years
11 at
old.
the time.
Roughly how many articles on it? Like hundreds,
Ooh,
thousands,
350, 400.
compared to your little start one.
I
So
think I was up to
you're
15
going,
at that
this is
stage.
awesome. Saves you all this writing. Okay, so
Yeah.
350 odd articles, 11 years old. Plus, was the Facebook group included?
Facebook group was included.
And how
Yeah.
many people on there did you say?
There was 80,000 at the time.
80,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And how can you remember how much traffic was coming to this travel blog at the time?
Yes, I do. Around about only 3,000 a month.
Okay, so quite small and niche, but
Yeah.
really good content then. Legit
Yes.
content that's going to save you
Yes.
350 articles. All right. So
Yep.
Annette, for 350 article, 11-year-old site, long established, legit, you know the owner herself, no one else bid on it. How much did you pick it up for?
5,000.
And I think the minute when we shared that publicly within our community, didn't you get like Christina and myself, there was a bunch of us that said, we'll give you 10,000 for it now. And you smartly said no chance, but
Yeah.
so you doubled your money straight away. It's easily
Yeah.
worth 10 grand plus.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so how's it, what did you do when you did the reno? You said it needed a spruce up. What was the first reno that you did on it?
I changed the theme. It was an old magazine theme. So I made the homepage static, and
Yep.
then, you know, got those key. I did a lot of thinking about how I wanted the site to be structured.
Yep.
About, you know, so people could navigate it quite easily. So I did keyword research, of course.
Yes, good.
A lot of SEO research, keyword research, and I wrote it all out, you know, on a piece of paper, did
Good.
the whole little plan thing. And then I attempted to update the theme myself, stupidly.
Yep.
But I thought, I can be doing so much more things with my time. So I handed it over to a techie. And she did a great job. Yeah.
And where'd you get the techie from? You just hire off Upwork or something?
Yeah, I mean, I have worked with a techie actually since doing build and buy websites in the Legends program.
Yep.
So he was the second techie that I hired. So I went back to him, and I've used him over the years many, many times, but he wasn't actually focusing on the theme that I wanted. So he put me on to his girlfriend. She did it. So there was that trust factor there.
Good.
So yeah,
awesome.
And
she
did.
Where is your techie based? Like, not in Australia, or?
She's in the Philippines, but I now have one in Africa as well, who's fabulous. He's really good.
All right. And you and I had some fun calls like on that side as you were transferring, because you, Annette, did something very challenging that beginners probably shouldn't do. Not that you're a total beginner or anything like that, but it's pretty full on. Can you explain what you did with the Lappers site that was working so well at the time as well?
Sure. Well, because there were only either by that stage 15 to 20 articles, I thought I can't focus on two. My goal was always to blend. So we had a chat, and I ran by you what I wanted to do, and that was transfer all the articles from Lappers onto this new site. New old site. So that's what I did. Every week I just transferred word for word and the images onto, and that's quite a bit of work because there's some tables, because I do a lot of comparison charts and things like that, so people can actually compare the, you know, what products I'm talking about. So yeah, that took So I'm doing weeks and weeks of work, which and paid off. So it's good.
But this is part-time. So you're not doing anything other than that. That's pretty much the reno. You weren't putting any new content onto the site at all.
Not at that stage. Not at that stage, because what I was moving over was new content for that site anyway. So that's all I did.
So to all intents and purposes, you put 15 new articles onto this website.
Yeah.
And you de-index the old site. That's pretty much it.
It's still live. Sometimes
I know, but
I need to do that.
But for those of you who are SEO nerds like myself, don't worry, it's not duplicate content and it's just done a redirect and told via Google Search Console that it's all good. So it's fine. It's easy. So pretty easy stuff, really. And I think what was exciting for our community when you announced the results from that, so you'd put, that's it, 15 articles. Can you remember, Annette? I've got it written down here. Let's see. What did the traffic go to? So it was getting around 3,000 a month before the reno. What did the traffic jump to after that?
At that stage, I think it went to about 20,000 or something.
Yeah, it jumped. You had said it initially. It jumped. It tripled. Went to like 9,000, 10,000.
Yeah, in the early days of it.
Because you've done more work to it since then, and it's gone up. So pretty amazing result. What time period did that take to basically get it to that first tripling of the traffic?
Oh, matter of a few months. It was like I could see every time I did an article, when I was moving these articles over, the search traffic from lappers was immediately transferring to, the new old site. So I wasn't losing traffic. It was just being redirected to the newer site.
Perfect. Yeah. And how did the Facebook group grow as well? So what did the Facebook group start out at?
It was 80,000.
80,000, which is significant anyway, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Travelers, 80,000 travelers.
Yes.
Far out.
Now we're almost at 150,000.
Going net. So you've doubled. Well done. You and Kev must be so happy. So for you, let's fast forward to today. So that's been a bit of a journey too. Like we should reiterate to people, there's no new content really, except off these 15 articles. Since then, in general, how often would you be posting a piece of content onto that site?
Every week.
So you do one article a week, do you?
Yes.
And is it just you writing them now because you're traveling full time?
Yeah, that traveling full time, everyone has this dream about let's be a travel blogger, travel full time, and I'll write all these articles and so on and so forth. It's hard.
Oh, okay.
It was hard just to slip into a usual routine. Like I'd be like, I should be writing now, and we've got a travel day happening. And I can't write in the car. I just can't when we're traveling.
You guys
so that was a bit of an adjustment.
Yep.
Now I do have a writer, which was a lot to let go of.
Okay, I was just going to stir you, Annette, knowing you, because you're like a lot of us. You're a perfectionist and you love writing and you are a good writer. What was that like to let go of?
Well, hard, very hard, very hard. But something had to give. So if I give the writer factual type of, she writes the facts, and then I put in the personal experiences. So if it's a post like things to do in X, she'll write all the facts and history and all of that sort of stuff. Then I will add my bit over the top.
And like your personal experience, I'm presuming you and Kev are taking lots of photos. You can put those in with the articles and that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And out of interest, how much do you pay for a writer like that? Like, is that someone offshore? Or is that a fellow travel person here? Like, are they an expert in travel? What sort of a writer are they?
She's a general writer. She's in England.
Yep. Okay.
And she's an excellent writer, actually.
And how did you
Very good
find her
rider.
then? So she's in England, you're here in Australia in a caravan, living life in a
Yeah.
caravan. And how did you find her?
Yeah. Upwork.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah,
I trialed her.
yeah.
She was very enthusiastic. She offered, I had two that were very enthusiastic, and they both offered to do trials. And if
Yep.
I liked their writing, then I'd pay for the article.
Okay.
So
Brilliant.
that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice one. And how much
Yeah.
does it so how much does that article cost? Like what's her fee for the
It's 40 US dollars for 2,000 words.
awesome. All right. And then you edit it yourself. So that's freed up your
Yes.
time now. So you're
Yes.
not traveling because I can see you're in your caravan right
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah,
thank
I
you
am.
for and so in that site now, so for you guys, how much money does it make on average a month for you guys now?
On average, it'd be about 4,000.
4,000. Well done.
I realized I was making more money from my website than I was at my part-time job. And I think it was the next week I actually resigned.
Yes, love hearing that. That is
Yeah.
cool. And so that was the point at which you decided to become a travel blogger, an official full-time travel
Yeah,
blogger.
full-time travel blogger. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was awesome. That had been my goal for so long, so many years. Yeah. So that was a sweet moment in time.
What does this allow you to do? Is that like, have you still got a home? How have you worked things there?
We have a unit in the Gold Coast that
Yep.
we're Airbnb. We've got an Airbnb manager that looks after that,
Nice.
and also a house in Harvey Bay as well.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Harvey Bay is now our home base.
Gotcha.
So
Yep.
once we finish doing all of this, we will head back to Harvey Bay.
Yep.
Maybe over probably then, do the Bali thing in however many years.
All right. So that's where we need to come back. A little bit of coaching here for you, Annette. So you're making $4,000 a month off this site. Do you have any other sites? Like for you, is that pretty much because you're doing this for lifestyle reasons? You're a little bit
Yes.
different to, say, some of our other laptop lifestylers in this program where you
Sure.
don't need to make as much money. Is
Yep.
$4,000 a month good when you're traveling around, or are you going to start working on some other sites?
$4,000 a month is great. It stops me from having to work for someone else. There's nothing better than working for yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
But I do have my sites on my Bali blog, which has not been touched since March 2020.
Yep.
And that's because the traffic is going up on it.
So it's passively just started going up in traffic. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's a sign from the universe, Annette. You should be working on it.
I think so. And it has made a few dollars this year. So
Right.
in the last couple of months. So yeah, I need to do that. So a VA and the writer will come in very handy.
Yeah, because I would imagine this is perfect now. You now you can do it. You've already got the team. You're in the flow. Now you can just start, like you've heard some of our other members, once you get to this point, once you start seeing and you never know in it, maybe you'll get lucky a second time. You create your own luck and find another site to buy. But at the very least, you've got a great foundation there. You've got the skill set. More importantly, you've got the skill set to really grow that. I do want to say a massive congratulations and thank you so much for sharing your story here and inspiring yet another group of amazing, inspiring everyone in our community with your amazing story. And yeah, seriously, congratulations, living the dream, traveling around Australia, travel blogger. Well done, Annette.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much.
Awesome.